So after I totally didn't leave in the first attempt at an act because a mouse was on the screen, and last part
What are you
went out
talking about?
swimmingly, we're starting this part with Sand Sanctuary. Yeah. I totally didn't have to squeeze Act 2 of Lagoon City into this part because of a
Lewis, we're not even
mistake.
commentating over Sonic Superstars. It's Legacy of King. That wasn't a denial.
Anyway, so after you barely touch the water in Act 1, you get an actual water level for Act 2. But since, Arzest doesn't know how to do water levels, apparently they just copied Sonic Mania's, and we get the bubble again. So that's good. That's cool, I guess.
So I was actually interested in this developer, so I looked them up. And they are Artoon. Like, they are what used to be Artoon. Artoon, as you might know, developed such worldwide acclaimed games as Yoshi's New Island on the 3DS.
And then Arzest developed Balan Wonderworld.
Yeah, that was another one where I was like, ooh. I mean, granted, Balan Wonderworld is not a singular issue of an incompetent dev, to use again massive quotation marks. That was an issue of many other things, like the director not knowing what the hell they were doing.
The design philosophy being flawed from the start.
Yeah, honestly, janky as the game looks at times, there very clearly was a lot of creativity put into the worlds and the designs of many of the stuff. And to
his credit, Naoto Oshima was the character designer of that game, not anything else, as far as I know. And the character designs in Balan Wonderworld are stellar.
Oh yeah, they look right.
Yeah, they're
out
fine.
Of,
I think Balan has a great design.
I don't like the design of Balan himself. It's still really weird.
I don't remember any other character design besides Balan.
Well, there's a lot of interesting aesthetic design in Balan Wonderworld. It's the game that surrounds it that's terrible. But the idea was flawed from the start when they decided let's do a Knights game, but it's about the kids on the ground.
That is Knights.
No, it's not.
You play as the kids on the grounds and Knights.
For 2 seconds.
For 2 seconds before you play as the as Knights for the rest of the time. And you know what?
I thought that you had to do a whole bunch of walking around and platforming as the kids in Knights.
You're thinking of Journey of Dreams. That's the Wii game.
The Wii game, yeah, but that game was panned as mediocre specifically because of that. So it's not like they were lacking hindsight on that particular issue. So I don't really know why they doubled down on it for Balan Wonderworld.
Well, to be fair, because Nice Journey of Dreams was Sonic Team, but it's not as if Naoto Oshima was part of that team around that time, or Yuji Naka for that matter. Because I think Yuji Naka left after Shadow in 2005.
He left during 06.
Okay, well, still, that's pre Nice Journey of Dreams.
I know,
so
they could have just spent 5 minutes googling Knight's Journey of Dreams. And
why do you think they do that?
Because most video game developers would do that. I'm just saying.
I'm making a spiritual successor to Mario. I haven't played a Mario game since Mario Land 2 on the Game Boy, but they probably haven't changed that much. We'll just pick a random animal to have him be a costume of. Here we go. Tortoise. Tortoise Mario will be the new best character in the series.
Would that be Hammer Bro or the Boomerang Bro or the Koopa Shell from New Super Mario Brothers? Or
there's probably more, but I think we can leave it there. Oh, so this is one of those, if you're bad at the game, you have to play through the slow underwater part the entire time levels.
Well, I mean, partly, but you also have the water power. So you can swim.
This game clearly does not respect the Sonic lore of Sonic not being able to swim being his main weakness.
Well, I mean, he needs a Chaos Emerald to swim, so...
I mean, honestly, that's if you had a Chaos Emerald, right? A gem of unimaginable power, I'd try to do more with it than learn to swim. I mean, I guess the trying to grow vines is one thing. Like
I'm gonna steal the Mario vine. That's what I'm gonna do with my Chaos Emerald.
Are you gonna use that to like grow plants and end world hunger?
No, but I'm gonna
use it to get on
destroy
my
it.
roof.
I'm going to destroy a giant Eggman robot with it.
Yeah, you'll get 6 out of 10 points.
That was foreshadowing. Anyway, so
I wonder what happened. Oh, okay. Actually, I was not expecting that to happen at all.
The pressure should have killed you.
probably.
I mean, a lot of things should have probably killed Amy by this point. Is this spin dash slower in this game than it used to be?
I addressed this, but in the PC version, the refresh rate kind of gimps the spin dash sometimes.
Oh, right. You did mention that.
Anyway, this boss kind of sucks. Unless you have the water power or Amy's double jump, in which case it's a non-issue.
I'm surprised even using the water power up now.
And you lose it.
Yeah, I lost it early, but like Amy has the double jump, so she doesn't really have to worry in this boss battle.
Yeah. For any other character, though, you want to be saving the water power for the second part of this fight.
Yeah.
Because this part's easy enough.
There's this whole platforming challenge you're supposed to do to fight the boss in its second phase, but like Amy can just double jump into its face from the ground. It's a little embarrassing, actually. Doubly embarrassing because Eggman has this fucking big red fuck me button on his mech for some reason, and I'm just like, why did you put that there?
You know, he's got a 300 IQ. He's very smart. You wouldn't understand his methods.
No, I'm pretty sure that's a lie.
Oh, wait, no, Tails has the 300 IQ. I don't think they ever establish in lore what Eggman's IQ is, but I bet you it's at least 5.
Eggman believes that IQ exists. That tells you exactly how stupid.
You know what? That's a good point.
Okay, so I don't know why I bothered at the end there. Avatar didn't even have a chance to breathe. I mean, it's underwater, so...
Oh, Sonic, I can't breathe.
Anyway, that was a boss. Amy, you pressed the button. Stop.
Roulette faster, roulette.
Is Amy the choice for speedruns so far for this game?
I don't know. I would assume it's Sonic because of the drop dash.
Yeah, Sonic does have a bit more like a bit more control over speed than the other characters. He's just not as versatile as he is in 3 and Mania.
Metal Amy looks weird. I don't know what about it, but that head just looks off to me.
I think it's because the eyes are not angry.
I do like that the dress has fucking rocket boost satin on it.
Okay, so not only did we get Metal Amy, we got Metal Knuckles back, and finally a proper Metal Tails design as well. You know, to go with Tails doll.
Yeah, this is straight up Mecha Tails.
Yeah. Naoto Shima gave us mech designs for all for the 2 characters who didn't have one yet.
I've been fucking sitting on these concepts for like 20 years.
I don't know if he designed Metal Knuckles in the first place, but Metal Knuckles is back in all his glory, and he makes for...
Actually, I don't know if Metal Knuckles was either Naoto Shima or it might have been Traveler's Tales, because that debuted in Sonic R.
Was it ever in anything else?
Nope.
No, I don't think so. Now, I could Google this and get an answer for sure, but I don't feel like it.
Gareth, where are you? We need you. You know everything about Sonic, right?
Gareth would know if Metal Knuckles was in anything.
Anyway, what are you talking about, Ted? Why are you expecting an angry face on a female character in an anime?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, she should only be lipstick in mascara. I apologize for...
Not even Byleth was allowed to look grim in her Smash promo.
Oh yeah, we have to have all the women character be uwu happy, and because only men can be angry, don't you know?
That kind of bugged me in the Smash intro for Byleth, to be honest, because the thing about Byleth is that, like, regardless of gender, they're kind of emotionally blunted. But for some reason, they had her jumping in with a massive smile, and I'm just like, what are you doing? I thought Smash was supposed to be about understanding the characters. Please, stop.
Maybe whoever was animating it didn't care enough about Fire Emblem like the rest of the Smash community.
I'd believe it, because she never actually does that in her Smash appearance, just in the trailer. It's weird.
Oh man.
Now, the awkward thing about the colors is that they're consumable items, as I said, but, like, in order to, like, know exactly how much of each color you need for the thing you're going for, you have to go back and forth between the customize page and the shop page to buy the new color, and then go back and apply it, and then realize you bought too many greens and needed another pink instead, so you gotta go back to the shop. But finally, we have a fully realized Metal Amy, and this is absolutely something Eggman would build and forget to give a hammer to.
Perfect. My Metal Amy is now complete. My roast is done in the oven. Better go get that. I'm sure I won't forget to finish the hammer.
Anyway, Sand Sanctuary. Because I totally didn't have to do Act 1 of Lagoon City twice.
You keep mentioning this, and you should stop.
Yeah. Anyway, the thing about those moments where a power just appears on screen on its own that I didn't know until after I recorded this is that when the power just appears on screen like that, it's not just a prompt for you to switch to that power. It actually lets you just hit the square button and use the power right there. So that's neat. And it's basically the only way you'll ever get use out of Vision.
Yeah. Vision, I think, is probably the least used power up.
Well, if there's nothing that happens to be there, it's just useless, right?
Well, I mean, there's technically more to do with Vision than there is to do with water.
Yes,
but
you're not wrong.
But you need to look for it. You need to keep an eye out for the moments where the game lets you do it.
But that's kind of what I mean, is that, like, you won't know if Vision's going to be useful until you try it. Versus it's always, like, pretty obvious when you need to use water.
You're activating water in the first place because you know you can use it.
The funky thing about Vision is that you can also use it to reveal, just a randomly assorted scattering of invisible rings. It's weird. They just put them everywhere.
It's probably so that you don't feel like you completely wasted your time if you activate it and there's no platforms or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, Twerkies! It's relevant because we're in Thanksgiving time. Well, it's probably December by the time this goes up.
I think they're supposed to be vultures because it's a desert, but
they definitely look like turkeys to me.
Yeah, they do kind of less than a turkey vibe.
They kind of just look like bells with bird heads.
Wait, so
no, that's ridiculous.
If you can bounce on an enemy like 9 times in a row or however much it is, do you get a medal for doing that in this instead of a life?
I don't know.
I don't know. I've never actually
Well, Sonic never gave you a life though for that. Like no, Sonic it gave you like bigger point thresholds, but not a life.
It gave you points, and points could be used to get lives.
Oh, okay. So it was just Mario. Okay.
Yeah, Mario's the one that gave you a 1-up if you managed to kill a big-ass chain of enemies.
Or just hit a turtle shell on the stairs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Listen, if Miyamoto thinks that it's a different shell every time you kick it against the stairs, then I'm not going to complain.
Anyway, we got the slow time, which does exactly what it says on the tin. God damn it, this tutorial is loud. And just when you think you're safe...
I thought that was my headphones.
Anyway, yeah, just when you think you're safe, you get to the warp ring and the cacophony starts up again.
Are the emerald powers determined by the order you get them in? Like, if your first emerald is in this zone, do you get the slow or do you get the whatever the first one is?
Well, the emeralds will always be obtained in the same order, is the thing.
Okay.
They don't cycle through like in the older games. Oh, damn it.
But I think Ted's asking, like, if you didn't get the blue emerald in the first zone, will you get the blue emerald in the second?
Yes.
Yes, you will.
Okay. You will always get
Okay.
the emeralds in the same order. You're only allowed to grab 1 emerald per zone, but unlike, say, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, they actually do continue to give you special rings all the way up to Act 2 of the final zone. So that's
But
neat.
you also said that you could only get 1 ring per zone. So if you're like playing through normally and you don't get an emerald in zones 1 or 2, you will have to go and replay levels in order to get the
Well, you
last
don't
one.
have to.
Well, you don't have to, and you also have a whole second chance to get emeralds in Trip's story. Although you need at least 5 emeralds to get past her version of Speed Jungle, I think, so it's weird.
Wait, how does that work? Because Trip's story gives you all the powers
No,
in
it
the first
doesn't.
place.
You just had them.
Are you
I'm sure, yeah. There are also gateways that,
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I already had all the emeralds by the end of my initial playthrough with Sonic, and I just assumed that Trip just has all the abilities from the get-go.
the campaigns share special stages. They also
Okay.
Trip's story also remembers which zones you got emeralds in already. So if you get a zone in Bridge Island in your main campaign, you can't get it in Bridge Island in Trip's story, and vice versa.
Okay.
But you do have a second chance to go and get the remaining emeralds in Trip's story. Although Trip's story tends to throw these gates at you that require specific emerald powers to get by. So you straight up can't beat Trip's story without at least a certain number of emeralds.
There's no like other way around.
You see, because that's why I asked that, because that just seems very fucking stupid.
It is. It's almost like they didn't spend enough time testing the balance of Trip's story, which is why she can jump straight up into a spike enemy that's off camera. It's not because the camera's too close that happens, it's because they put an enemy in a bad spot. And I forgot to use slow where it should have been used, so now I can't get to the upper path, except I can because I can fly. Woo! I like how there's a slow prompt, as if slow is the only way you're ever going to make it up to that platform. But it's not, because you can fly.
Me bullet.
Why?
Sand Sanctuary is also one of the only other single act zones in the game too. But to compensate, it's extra long.
Yeah. All the single act zones are a bit extra long, and they have the longest boss fights, too. I could have done with 1 less of those.
You have the metal enemy you want. Why are we still doing these?
I don't know. Oh, no.
I get, man. You have a
Oh, no. I
compulsion
think I did
and
this
you
on
need help.
purpose. Yeah, I did this on purpose. I just jumped in so that I could reset my power.
Yeah, but you didn't need to go into the special stage for that. Just hitting the checkpoint.
Well,
does
when I
that.
was recording, I didn't know that I could shut off slow by just hitting the bumpers.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
This boss sucks.
This boss is a big fucking ball of nothing.
It's Dr. Ivo, a horrible boss theme Robotnik himself.
I'm so honored.
Okay, so this boss is everything everyone complains about in this game, and I will not defend it at all because fuck this boss.
Note that we have 3 minutes left.
Oh. Oh no.
Game Apologist did bring up an interesting point about the boss fights, though, and it's that several of the boss fights tutorialize you on the whole blue missiles or the missiles that you can knock back at the enemy thing, and this is one of them. But, you know, it could have done that without hanging out in the background for 2 hours. I'm just going to say.
Yeah, so here's the thing. If you're not, let's say if you're not using Emerald Powers, which you should be doing anyway, there are 2 methods of attacking this guy. You either wait for him to dive bomb towards you and he gets stuck, then you strike the capsule, or you can preemptively strike one of the blue badniks that are
These guys.
hang up like that, yeah, and hit them to knock it back. And the problem is you have to intercept them in midair.
Yeah.
If they already hit the ground, you're just going to destroy them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like you might not even figure that out the first time you're playing the game.
And Lewis is deliberately making the platforms more of a challenge just for the sake of feeling something, anything. Because fun fact, you can just stay still and just jump, and those squares will not hit you. They don't have a hitbox until they hit the ground.
Yeah, this doesn't look like a hard boss. It just looks like
it's just long and it's tedious.
The issue with this boss is that the fact that it hangs out in the background prevents any of your powers from meaning anything for 90% of the fucking fight.
So you're saying that this boss is tedious, meandering, and too long for its own good. So it's the Hobbit trilogy of boss fights. Okay, I got it.
Not what I was expecting to hear. Okay.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
This Sonic Superstars really is the Hobbit
But
trilogy of Sonic games.
But at least the Hobbit trilogy came with at least one sick beat.
Oh yeah, the soundtrack is consistent.
Amy, what out?
Among this.
I think I just used Vine for the sake of fucking around there. Because it's like...
Because you're bored!
Listen,
I am bored.
Gardening leads to a sense of, like, self-actualization. Like, you really feel like you're growing and cultivating something, which can bring meaning to an otherwise meaningless existence.
That got deep. Okay.
No, it didn't.
End this level already. Thank you.
I just noticed you're back in the default costume too. Is that going to be like good for the rest of the game?
I switched back to the classic costume for the second half of the game. Mostly because I didn't want to be incongruous with the ending animation, but, also because I think it looks neat.
I wouldn't care.
It's really weird for me as someone who never played much of the games that had old Amy in them. Like, seeing her without the red dress just looks odd.
Yeah. Well, also, her metal counterpart is based on her classic look, and I wanted them to look alike for that doppelganger mirror match appeal.